going to have a short discussion about coal and what the decision that came down on Monday actually means. This is David from Fishtails, and I've been fairly heavily involved in researching some of the aspects of the coal development situation, and this is something we need to be very nervous about regardless of Monday's decision. So I'm going to show you some maps and what, from the best of our understanding, what has actually happened as a result of the replacement of the coal policy. But for all intents and purposes, it does very, very little and is, in my opinion, a red herring compared to what's actually going on out there. So this is what we're looking at. We'll start in the south and we'll move north. So here is a map that shows the various projects from the various companies all in one place. So this is these coal leases that were, some of them are years old because here's Grassy down here. This is Blairmore and Coleman and Highway 3. So there are projects on here that have been several years in the works, and the Grassy is the one that is by far the farthest. So that's where we're sitting, and then we are looking up through Vickery Creek, Racehorse, and Dutch Creek. This is the Maycroft Road out here. The Forestry Trunk Road continues up here. This is the North Branch of the Old Man here. Would be the Livingston Valley here. So this is all the way up to Savannah Creek at the very top end of the Livingston River. So this is the size of the area that we are looking at. It's a huge area, and that's the zone where a significant portion of this is still in play regardless of the coal policy being reinstated, because through this area, especially all through here, this is how these companies are doing this. A lot of these are 50 to 100-year-old mines in this area, and they are claiming that they are going in to clean up the mess that was left behind. Well, it's 50 to 100 years, some of these places, where picks and shovels were being used. So this is what we're looking at. So I took the individual locations from the company's various websites and I transposed them onto this map because it gives you a little bit better idea of kind of where this sits amongst the area. So over here is Montum Tent Mountain Mine. This is Grassy Lakes up here. Here's Highway 3 here. This is another area that is further along in the process again, it didn't get affected by the replacement of the coal policy. And then as we move north on the Forestry Trunk Road, all of these black circles are basically coal mine areas where the companies have already delineated the coal beds where they would put an open pit mine. All of this so far that you're seeing is falling on what they consider Category 4 land that was previously mined. So all of these places, this is again Grassy, all of these other circles from these other companies are places that at the moment would still be able to have open pit mines in them because of the way that they are regulated. So this is what we're looking at. So we're already seeing that there's a bunch here. As we get further north, this is Dutch Creek up here. This is again the Maycroft Road coming in here. This is the Old Man River going up here. This is an area that, this is Dutch Creek. This is the Old Man here. So as we move into all of this up here, these ones may well have been affected by the policy change being reinstated with the no open pit mining in Category 2, which was always the case anyways. But all of these places got exploration permits, so these areas have been perforated and roads built all through all of this. So that damage has already been done. So again, these places now may be affected, which is just the Upper Old Man and the Livingston area. Those particular sites may now be okay as far as open pit goes, but the exploration permits, again, were not removed. So they still can do their permitting, their exploration, if they want to. But again, all of these ones down here are definitely still in play. Again, this is the Maycroft Road coming in here. All of these circles are still able to be open pit mines. So this is not a little area. Again, because these companies are using these old mines as a way in. So as we move to other areas, this particular map is directly from the federal government, and this is the species at risk map. So what this is in red is all of the critical habitat for species at risk, and all of the blue is places where the species have been considered damaged enough that they're extirpated, endangered, or threatened. And the two species at risk that we're talking about on this are bull trout and cutthroat trout. So when we look at further north now, so that's primarily in the south and the Old Man River watershed. When we go and we look further to the north, we're now moving up here. This is the map where you can click on a lease to get the dates and everything of when they are activating their leases. So this is now the headwaters of the Clearwater River, the Tay River. So this is directly in Clearwater County. And up here is the North Ram River. Here is the South Ram River. And this is the junction of the two Ram Rivers right in here. So you've been starting to see other places where these coal leases are being activated and exploration planned, or in these cases, actual active, again, old mine sites that are in here that are actually being activated. So when we look closely at this particular one, this is the Ram River going through here. This is the North Ram River coming in through here. This is the junction of the Ram and the North Ram is down in here. So this particular area has already been delineated for a coal mine. So this is what we're not just talking about the Old Man River watershed. We are talking about multiple areas throughout the southern and the central part of the province that there are many open pit mines in the works, in plans. So they have to, in order to get there, they have to go through the whole process as they did here at Grassy. But this is what we are currently facing. And again, the reinstatement of the policy did very little to nothing for all of these particular sites, because many of them are old mining sites that they have used in order to make this happen. So again, you can click on here to see when these coal leases were activated, and some of them are new and some of them are old, but the plan is for open pit mining in many of these places. So again, as you zoom out, you can see just how much there is in that central region, all through the North Ram, all through the Ram, all through the Upper Clearwater region. All of these places, there are plans at the moment for open pit coal mines. So this is what we are still needing to struggle against. This area is the most recent one, about the Crescent Falls area. Nordegg is just off over here, and this is again the most recent one from this particular company in here. So we are definitely having to be on top of this, and this is why we cannot let up, and we have to let our voices known when the public consultation comes, and hopefully they will put a halt to exploration on these places that was being allowed when they canceled the policy, because they have said that they aren't going to rescind any of the exploration permits that they already did in that 7 months that it was available. That needs to happen. So there is a brief overview of what we're looking at for coal throughout the central and southern Rockies in these watersheds. So it's still very much on the books, still very much a significant threat to our headwaters of our watersheds, and very much a threat to our fisheries that have already been put under stress throughout this area on all of the other factors that have already created this critical habitat situation that we're at. Add open pit coal mines to all of this, and our fisheries would be in very, very significant trouble. So keep up the pressure, contact your MLAs, get involved in the public process once we know what that looks like, and keep up the good work and good luck. Contact your MLAs.